Oh shit, Rap Slam Battles number 13. We're back in the culture machine, make some fun! As usual, on my left hand, introduce yourself.
Where is it we are?
Culture machine!
Steven from Watts, no sponsors. Spoken Word Festival, fucking battle, let's go!
Yes, yes. On my right hand, rapper number 1, introduce yourself.
My name is PTA. Auto-tune, thanks but no thanks. Hip-hop expert, Simpsons expert, wrestling expert. I don't feel so good.
And on my left hand, all the way from Australia, introduce yourself.
Jake O.Z, ADL to CPH, and tonight to Odense. Shout out to UOS. And shout out to All Design for the socks. Can we get these? Thank you. Solo Shocks, Euro.com, DK, whatever. Let's go. Can I hear some noise, Odense?
It's 2.5 minutes on Jake O.Z. You ready?
Yep.
Let's go.
Wow. You must be scared as shit right now. I mean, everyone I battled solo so far is choked, so I guess when I spit, I'm like Mandingo's dick. Why? Because this bitch can't handle it when I shove it down his throat. But let me guess, you're different, right? Yeah, you got this mad defense, rad speeches, and most importantly, no gag reflex. You're a punk, Pete. I'm not even from this lovely country, but I've got roots here that have grown, and on my own, no one's been sharp enough to stump me. They've been mumbling, stumbling, then crumbling at my feet. So watch the irony as this project dropout schools this geek. But before this sissy starts dissing me with similes, there's something I feel I need to address. I guess you could say it's a PSA. Yes, I have been fucking depressed since I lost to that dude who lost to PTA. Now, was there something else? No, that's all I needed to say. Anyways, back to how much of a geek you are. See, there's 3 areas he claims to be an encyclopedia. Bad bars, yeah. But let's start with the funniest of the 3. I was a fan one point myself, so I can see where you think it's interesting, but I still think it's hilarious this fat fuck is interesting. No, it's the best thing when you come out and start doing your posing, because basically it makes me see, compared to you, Sidney Lee is actually pretty close to Hulk Hogan. But you want to mesh wrestling bars? Cool, let's start. You think you're a lyrical hitman. I'm here to break your Bret Hart. You gonna shut the fuck up? Cool. I'm here to break your Bret Hart. I'm Sergeant Slaughter, entering your house to a drum roll. This ring has 2 contestants, but was scheduled for 1 fall. It's Y2J, making your walls of Jericho crumble, and I apologize if any of these references go over the top. Like the Royal Rumble. But Pete, the bars they know will be the bars they quote from this rap knockout. The real definition of an RKO. I'll throw you from the top of Hell in a Cell down to meet your maker. I'm like the biblical Sandman, because I'm able to cane this Undertaker. But I don't understand where wrestling stimulates you. It's something you can relate to when you yourself have always been a faker. But Pete's an OG. Yeah, he used to sell rock in the streets. No, believe. I've checked around, and it technically counts when it's The Rock's DVDs. But you're a top MC? That's a fucking lie, bitch. They say respect your elders, but that's a rule I can't comply with. I was raised in the Attitude Era, so of course I'm defiant. I'm like Bart Simpson with my slingshot slaying Andre the Giant. Wait, shit! With that Simpsons reference, I'm getting ahead of myself, like Futurama. I'll leave you as a head on my shelf. If you think I can get X'd out by this degenerate elf, I've got 2 words for you. Suck it. Pete, you can even put your head on my belt. The champ is here!
Yeah, let's go.
All right. So everybody, let's hear it for the sponsor sucks from the guy who sucks a bunch of cocks. Well, we dwindle back to the time when I was bubbling in Dublin. I was like, oh well, I might as well go to the hotel, and I figured the best thing was to go watch some wrestling. And I figured it was good as gold, and I sat down with this 10-year-old, and he was like, my mom says I can't swear. My mom says I can't swear. And I was like, well, I don't care. And he was like, I fucking hate Randy Orton. I fucking hate Randy Orton. And I was like, well, tell me more if it's so important. He was like, well, you sound kind of like a failure. You sound different, right? Are you from Australia? So I was like, hey, kid, I might have to smack the shit out you, bitch. And I was like, smacked him all around the world, and then he returned as a little baby girl. See, what happens is, when you come from Australia and you sound like a failure, you end up sounding like Iggy Azalea. Yeah, that's the type of shit that you don't impress with, and with that cap you look like Elliot Ness Kid. And on the microphone, I'll be like Al Capone, and yes, my style is blown way beyond this poem. So you can check the fresh thing, cause I know a whole lot of shit about wrestling. Yes, you see, Mr. Little Merman, it's not actually fake. It's just predetermined. So when you try to shake and you bake and you rattle, I'ma say, yeah, it's just predetermined, like how I'm gonna win this battle. Yeah, cause you kinda like, you know, a fake wannabe ECE, but I already paid off Geese-a-Gee. And you're from Australia, so I'ma not call you ECE or Geese-a-Gee. I'ma call you Sydney Lee. Hi, Sydney. Everybody say hi to Sydney. Hi, Sydney. I'ma smack you upside the head, you faker. Say goodbye, Sydney. Cause I'm like the Undertaker versus the Underfaker. I'll be like the real rapper. You be like Sydney. Yeah, and I'm a real slap ya. I'ma slap you all around the earth. And then when you return, you can say, hey, I brought you some shit back from Perth. Yeah, because you was the thunder that went all around the way down under, and then you returned to Denmark and let your pen spark. And it was just so miserable, and it was just so terrible. But I guess you got some parables. But I'ma tell you, your English is so fucking bad, I almost got a death wish. Time.
Time, make some noise.
Pete, you can't have too long left to live. I mean, the worst concept ever would be for you to concept a kid. If you continue on this trail that you're blazing, your liver has to start failing. You know, shit, I think I can see one of the symptoms. You're looking a bit yellow. Shit, is that why you like The Simpsons? I mean, besides skin complexions, you and Homer share imperfections, both overweight, alcoholics whose IQ steadily plummets, of course, with the opposite applying to your stomachs. But yeah, you are battling me. Pete, you must be as suicidal as a goth mo or higher than Otto, because the day that you beat me is the day that Flanders has lost hope. Fuck jokes. If I don't got a title shot by this time next year, I must be getting framed by Sideshow Bob. I mean, you know someone sucks when they have to remind you about battles you may have enjoyed before. Like you did against Lowe when you started name-dropping like Troy McClure. Like, sure, you can claim that you've been out of the game and were feeling kind of rusty, but I don't buy it. If this clown had one chance to sell out, he'd do it in a heartbeat like Krusty. You disgust me. There's something about you that just doesn't look right. No, wait, I've got it. You could be the exact copy of that comic book guy. Speaking of the comic book guy, this is what his YouTube comment would look like. PTA, worst bars ever. And dude's right. When you spit your shit, you sound like you're vomiting excrements. Whereas my bars are like Mr. Burns' catchphrase. Excellent. Pete, your bars are worse than that episode they did with Lady Gaga. Yeah, that happened, look at fucking up. Your bars are so painfully bad that after each one you hear Nelson scream, ha ha. And your flow, don't even get me started, yo. Grandpa Simpson would have more of a chance than this retarded bloke of staying on beat with his rhymes. Even if he fell asleep in the middle of a... Oh, sorry, where was I? Oh yeah, despite these facts, he still thinks he outraps me, and that's why I'm about to make this battle as bloody as itchy and scratchy. See, usually I would charge an admission fee of $1, but Pete, you're Bethel. You get free entrance to my treehouse of horror. You get free entrance to my treehouse of horror. So when you step in, all you hear is the sound of something crunching. Look around on the walls where I wrote the same quote. No beer and no TV makes Jake something something. So you better protect your neck like the Woo recommended you do, because I'm in a head-severing mood. If you're a veteran dude, then you better improve, because I'm better than you, more clever than you, and shit, I even do a better apu. Sure. Some people like your LOC line. I was not one of them. So what are you going to do, brother, when your own impressions say, please do not come again?
this quickie, my customer thinks he can sink me. But for this customer, you cannot hurt a Twinkie. Yeah, you're smiling, you're laughing. I see all these motherfuckers smiling and gasping. Yeah, and I guess we got to go back to the parable that, well, your English is terrible. Yeah, that's how it is, just for fun. Someone said, spring is in the air, so you jumped. And yo, people came up to you like, yo, Jake, your battle says mad trill. So you rolled down a hill. And that's how it is, you know, because you're like, yeah, I'm the champion of the world. I like to hit on girls. The champion of the world. Do you know what I'm getting at? I like to hit on girls. Because, yeah, I heard you like to suck both of the anuses on both of the januses. But sometimes it's kind of like a cancer. When you go up next to her and you're like, hi, Sandra. Can I impress you? Is there anything I could buy, Sandra? And she's like, fuck off, fuck off. And she's like, yeah, I don't want to say goodbye, Sandra. So he's like, yeah, that don't impress me. You're kind of like a disgrace. And Sandra's like, well, if you're going to stand there, you're going to have to punch me in the face. And she stood her ground. And Jake was like, well, this is like a rep slam. I have to go round for round. So Jake was like all impressed. And he was like all drunk and shit. And he was like, yo, I'm going to punch this bitch. You remember this shit? I don't either. I was also drunk as shit. But Janice told me the story, and it's kind of gory, and you just sound like a fucking idiot. So here's how I gather it. You're just like an idiot, just like a little kid. You wanted to slap her, and maybe you wanted to ask her if you could go on a date, and maybe you could battle Janice after. I don't know what it was, but at the end of this shit, you always sounded like a bitch. That's kind of how it is, because when you go to Australia, the things are turned around. But they're kind of like a boomerang, because they always come back around. Yeah, and that's how it is when I'm dissing you, dude. And I hope you go back to Sandra, and you have to suck her didgeridoo.
It's our
time. Okay. So my homies say, if I lose to PTA, that would be a disaster. I'm like, nah, bruh. If I was battling Locksmith, who I've met, by the way, 2 rounds in and choked in the 3rd, that would be a disaster. I mean, Lux, Steph, after Particle Man, how are you not believers? I seriously have to crucify another geezer before I get a shot at Jesus? Yeah. Jesus. I mean, Pete thinks when I asked for this match, it was because I wanted some classic rap shit. Fact is, I'm attacking this whack bitch as part of my tactics. This faggot is practice. This is just some warm-up lap spit, so my lyrical hat shit acts hits accurate when I finally battle that black bitch, immaculate. Oh, and Sandra, honey, let's imagine that slap did happen, because then I'm ready to map in Manhattan since I'm already on my URL smack shit. So I'd advise you tell 4 Eyes to pull them comments back quick, or when I battle him, I'll make sure it ends like Matt Biz. Pete, I ain't here to play games like Clank and Ratchet, but if you came to play without your A game, you should expect to get pwned. I'm like Kratos in God of War, killing your legend while creating my own. Because no lie, dude is a legend in his own right. But since you didn't get your flow right, saying yes to battle me was saying no to your own life. I mean, I battle rap because I love to get respect and I love to be the man. You battle rap as a whack attempt to stay young. You're Peter Pan. But he keeps on battling and we keep watching. But Pete, beating me is something you'll never do, like detoxing. And you claim to be a veteran, but against Low, when you started to name the elements, you left out beatboxing. Why? Have you lost it, Pete? Or is it just because you've never figured out how to box a beat? Hip-hop's defeat will probably be due to this dude's hypocrisy. I mean, but he still rocks the streets in them XXX shirts and claims to be an expert, where in actuality he's probably about as much of an expert as Dr. Phil that's that texpert. And he doesn't, if you were wondering. But I remember back in Aarhus in the first instance we met, someone told me you're a legend and I had instant respect. Then I heard you rap and that respect instantly left. I mean, you went from a civic critic to a frickin' gimmick. I mean, how hard is it to remember your frickin' lyrics? Not to be a cynic, but there's a frickin' limit. You bit it for a minute, bitch. Admit it, your spit is timid. Slow it down. After you choked, you became a fucking joke. And that's why I used you in our battle against Low. But Pete, the chance of beating me ain't quite there because I don't fight fair. So it's fit. I do things my way. So it's fitting the Rap Slam the 13th lands on a Friday since I'm your fucking nightmare. Times Square. Seriously, Friday, 13th, really?
So I have to battle this loser. I guess it's Friday the 13th because he's just a whole lot of an impression of Kruger. Yeah, that's how I do ya. I'ma have to lose ya, and I'ma have to spell ya. Yo, I'ma have to send you all the way back to Australia. Cause yo, here's a little fairy tale that some of you may know very well. Yeah, cause it's by the ugly duckling writer who got fucked in the ass more times than the girl who said, yo, can you put my body stocking tighter? And can you pull my skirt up a little like Rowdy Rudding Piper? Yeah, cause just need to fuck you because I'm not really a fighter. I'm a lover. And see, Jake, you don't impress me. You're not a fighter. You're a lover. You don't want to fight tougher. You just want to like scream like you're on the microphone, but you look like the kid from Home Alone. No, scratch that. You don't look like the kid from Home Alone. You just look like a Roan clone. Ooh. Yeah, see, that's what you call him out for. That's what you're all about for. But when you get in this real battle, yeah, that's what I'm all here for. Yeah, that's what I stand for, and that's what I demand for. Freedom or death. My freestyle is fresh. It's always been like that since the 1996. Lyrical style is what I give them. Yo, if you check this, that is what I've been living. Yo, for 15 years, I've been drinking these beers. I've been saying the same kind of rhyme a whole bunch of times. And I know a bunch of new kids on the block have come out and tried to rock me off my socks. But yo, it's all about the sponsors and it's all about the gimmicks, and ain't none of them is gonna live without my limit. Cause 30 years from now, I'll still be rapping. And 30 years from now, you'll still be doing some new shit that'll have nothing to do with rapping. You'll be outside, you'll be selling shit, you'll be screaming shit, or maybe you'll be on the computer. But to me, kid, you'll still be a fucking loser. Yeah, so I'ma send these kids, like, if you want some snare school, maybe, Jake, you shouldn't impress people by saying, yeah, I'm a gangster because I live on Nørrebro. And all the other shit you're trying to impress kids with? Yo, that shit's ridiculous. It's just gimmicks, kid. You want to impress kids? You want to say something cool? Yeah, and you want to get amped? I'm going to end this on one note like, yeah, I love lamp. And I'm going to say, I've beaten the second kid in here who came to Rap Slam and had on a tramp stamp.
Time, make some noise, make some noise. Yo, got ourselves a winner by 3-0. Make some noise for Jake O.Z. Make some noise for PTA, round.
Mike, see that you want it.
PTA, vi kan
Settle down. Jeg har battlet i 20 år næsten. 18 år. Det er det sidste gang. Ever. Så giv noget larm til ham, der vandt. This is it.
PTA, 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 PTA.
Yo, Geesa G, we just watched PTA versus Jake O.Z. I'm gonna do this in English. I gotta practice, right? I thought Jake came with some consistency. I thought that his bars, it's like the rounds were really well planned. Like first wrestling, then Simpsons, then battle rap. It was very structured. But the thing about it is, if you don't get the references, it's gonna fall a little flat. So I got some of the wrestling references because I watched it when I was like 9. And I got most of the Simpsons references because I still watch that shit. So those 2 rounds were, I thought, pretty strong, even though like most people in the crowd maybe didn't get all of first round. The third round was battle rap, and I thought he could have executed that better. I think maybe it's because we've heard people internationally that use other rappers' names, and it's just gotten a little tired and old. So I think maybe that's why it slipped, because it wasn't bad at all. It was just, I don't know, it was heard before somehow. But to talk about PTA's rounds, I thought, like, at his first round, I wrote repeat, because I thought he repeated some stuff, like saying, send you back to Australia again and again and again and again. And we get it, he's from Australia, and you could send him back. So it did seem like sort of a mismatch, because PTA didn't perform up to par, I think. I gave him a couple of points, but not as many as Jake's, and there's more like structure to Jake's bars. So I gave it to Jake, and it was PTA's last battle, but we hope to see him again in Danish. I hope to see him again in Danish. Peace.
Jeg vil bare sådan, vi har lige set PTA mod Jake O.Z, og en fed engelsk battle, som jeg gav til Jake, fordi at de er egentlig begge to ganske færme til engelsk, og jeg vil sige, der var mange referencer inden for wrestling og Simpsons, hvor jeg ikke er så bekendt i nogle af de to verdener, så der har nok været en linje eller to eller tre, som er gået mig over hovedet. Men jeg synes, at jeg kunne fornemme, at de begge to var rimelig lige om at jonglere med de her referencer, så den ruller sig selv ud, tænker jeg umiddelbart. Derimod så synes jeg, at PTA han havde lidt flere ret abstrakte, lange opbygninger til nogle historier, som jeg ikke er helt sikker på blev forløst ordentligt. Og noget af det var sådan lidt mærkeligt og lidt sært, hvor Jake han holdt et rimelig imponerende flow hele vejen igennem, og en sådan rimelig heftig levering faktisk, som på intet tidspunkt glippede for ham. Det var virkelig imponerende hold hele vejen. Og altså PTA, han har nogle fede rim, han har Home Alone på Roan Clone, men så har han også i en engelsk battle snøresko med Nørrebro, og der bliver præmisser for battle måske lidt forløst. Men en underholdende battle, hvor jeg dog synes, at Jake faktisk tager den på stort set alle parametre. Og respekt til PTA for en lang karriere.
Morten, bag fjendens linjer. Alt det der. Jeg har lige set PTA mod Jake O.Z. Mit umiddelbare indtryk var, da Jake han startede, at han var meget bedre, end jeg synes, han har været før. Tidligere synes jeg, at ikke at han sådan bare har været sindssygt skarp og sådan noget, men han var bare klar i dag på en anden måde, end han har været tidligere. Og det synes jeg egentlig var meget fedt. Jeg er glad for, at de ikke gik meget med ind i wrestling i den battle, fordi så havde jeg bestemt ikke været den rigtige til at dømme den, men jeg tror, jeg forstod de fleste af referencerne. PTA han annoncerede jo den her battle, at det var hans sidste battle nogensinde, og det er jeg egentlig lidt ked af, fordi jeg synes, jeg kan bedre lide PTA på dansk, end jeg kan lide at høre ham på engelsk. Og jeg gad egentlig godt se PTA en sidste gang, fordi jeg synes ikke, han sådan demonstrerer på samme måde, hvad han kan på engelsk, som han kan på dansk. For at gøre en lang historie kort, synes jeg, at Jake han rapper bedre, jeg synes Jake han flower bedre, jeg synes Jake han har bedre linjer, jeg synes Jake er mere kreativ, og det er hvad jeg giver ham den på. Kæmpe big up til Jake, du har gjort det meget bedre, end du har gjort de sidste mange gange, jeg har set dig, og det vinder du på. Peace.